Pioneers, hold on to your seats. Pi Network's price just took a shocking dive, and it's got everyone talking. But is this the end of Pi's journey, or is there a massive opportunity hidden beneath the surface? Keep watching because what happens next might just change everything for you. Hey, pioneers! I'm here with breaking news on the Pi Network, a project many thought was ready to skyrocket. But guess what? The price just took a huge tumble, and it's raising more questions than answers. Were we all wrong about Pi's future? Or is this just a temporary setback? Let's break it down. Pi Day. A day many had been eagerly awaiting, filled with high expectations for massive announcements, price surges, and groundbreaking breakthroughs that would propel Pi Network to the next level. After months of anticipation, the excitement was palpable. Pioneers were hoping for new updates on the mainnet launch, partnerships, or perhaps even news of Pi being listed on major exchanges. Many had imagined this day would mark the beginning of Pi's rise to prominence in the crypto space, with a surge in its value and visibility. But what did we get instead? A sudden sell-off that took almost every pioneer by surprise. Instead of the anticipated announcements, the market was flooded with panic, as Pi's price took a sharp dive. Many investors had been holding on to their Pi, expecting this day to be the catalyst for their patience to pay off. But instead, they found themselves watching their portfolios shrink, as the value of Pi dropped dramatically. For those who had hoped for a big surprise, perhaps news of Pi being listed on a major exchange or an update about its KYC process, Pi Day delivered something quite different. The reality was that instead of soaring prices and excitement, the Pi community found themselves dealing with confusion and uncertainty. And with this unexpected downturn came a slew of questions. What went wrong? Was the hype all just a mirage? Why did the market react so negatively, especially after so much buildup? When Pi Network rolled out its KYC process, the goal was clear: to enhance transparency, security, and trust within the community. The KYC cleanup was meant to verify the identities of millions of users, ensuring that only legitimate accounts would be eligible to transfer or withdraw their Pi coins when the network eventually goes live. This was seen as a necessary step toward establishing Pi Network as a credible and sustainable project in the cryptocurrency space, particularly as it looked to attract investors and mainstream attention. But what really happened? The KYC process didn't go as smoothly as anticipated. In fact, it turned into what can only be described as a disaster for many Pi holders. Millions of accounts were flagged as unverified or incomplete, meaning their Pi coins were either frozen or entirely lost. For users who had been faithfully mining Pi for years, this felt like a cruel blow. They had invested countless hours into the project, only to watch their holdings vanish because they couldn't meet the verification requirements. This was a huge shock to the system, sparking intense frustration and fear among the community. As the news spread, panic set in. A significant portion of Pi's user base, now worried about their Pi's future, began rushing to sell off whatever they had left. With so many accounts dumping their holdings into the market at once, Pi's price spiraled downwards in a dramatic freefall. It was a perfect storm of market uncertainty, with many investors losing faith in the project's immediate prospects. But here's the kicker. As painful as this purge may seem, it might actually be necessary for Pi Network to become a legitimate player in the crypto world. The reality is that the KYC cleanup was an essential step in ensuring that Pi only has active, verified users in the ecosystem when it transitions to the next phase. Without this process, Pi risks remaining just another speculative token, lacking the regulatory compliance and trust that could eventually lead to exchange listings and broader adoption. Yes, it stings to see the value of your Pi holdings drop, and yes, the frustration is real for those who lost out. But this KYC purge, painful as it may be in the short term, is a necessary evil if Pi is to move forward with credibility. It's a tough but important step in securing the project's long-term viability and sustainability in the rapidly evolving and highly scrutinized crypto space. Leading up to Pi Day, we were all buzzing with anticipation. Open mainnet launches, exchange listings, big business partnerships. But when the Pi core team's announcement finally came, let's just say it didn't meet expectations. Instead of major updates, we got technical developments, leaving many investors disappointed. The market responded with panic selling, driving the price even lower. Let's face it, Pi Day was hyped up like a milestone moment in Pi Network's journey. The entire community had been eagerly awaiting that moonshot moment. The moment when Pi's price would skyrocket, the network would go live, and the long-awaited rewards of years of hard work mining would finally pay off. There were whispers of massive announcements, exchange listings, and a future where Pi could rival the biggest cryptocurrencies on the market. Everyone was hoping for a big breakthrough, something that would make all that patience worth it. But then, Pi Day arrived, and what did we get? A sudden price dip that hit the market hard and left many Pi holders reeling in shock. The moonshot everyone dreamed of seemed like a distant fantasy. Instead of watching their holdings soar in value, many people saw their portfolios drop dramatically, and the excitement quickly turned into disappointment and fear. The reality was far from what people had envisioned, and that led to a wave of panic selling. The market was flooded with sell orders as people tried to cut their losses, fearing that the dream of Pi's future was slipping away. It felt like the dream of early adoption was over, with no big rewards in sight. But hold up, what if I told you that this price dip could actually be a golden opportunity for Pi's future? Hear me out. While the immediate aftermath of Pi Day was certainly discouraging, this dip might just be the shake-up that the market needed. After all, this price drop is partly a result of short-term panic and confusion, not necessarily an indication of Pi's long-term prospects. It's a classic case of expectations versus reality, where the hype created inflated hopes, and when things didn't meet those hopes, the market overreacted. In reality, dips like these can be healthy for a project in the long run. Pi Network is still in its infancy, and its path to becoming a legitimate player in the crypto world is far from over. While some might see this dip as a sign to bail out, others might see it as an opportunity to buy in at a lower price before Pi truly takes off. The truth is, the cryptocurrency market is volatile, and things can change rapidly. What seems like a failed moment now could be the foundation of massive growth in the future. So, instead of being discouraged by the gap between expectations and reality, maybe it's time to think strategically. Could this dip be a chance to strengthen your position and hold on for the next phase of Pi Network's evolution? Only time will tell, but in the world of crypto, those who stay patient and believe in the long-term vision often come out ahead. Now, let's take a breath. Is Pi's future doomed? Absolutely not. In fact, Pi has a massive opportunity to bounce back, and here's why. The community is as strong as ever, and Pi's long-term vision hasn't changed. Yes, the price is volatile right now, but here's the twist. Pi is still not listed on major exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, or Kraken. This is a closed-loop economy, and until Pi opens up to the global market, its price is going to be driven mainly by internal factors. For Pi to truly skyrocket, we need more businesses to accept it, more adoption, and crucially, open access to the global crypto market. And guess what? Pi is actively working on these things. So don't give up just yet. The road ahead for Pi is clear. To recover from this dip, the Pi core team needs to focus on a few key areas: stronger ecosystem development, real-world use cases, exchange listings, and transparent roadmaps. And trust me, Pi's community is ready to help make that happen. Can Pi recover? Yes. But the real question is, will you be part of the journey? Pioneers, the Pi Network's future isn't set in stone. We're all part of a journey, and yes, setbacks like this happen. But the real question is, are you in it for the long haul? The opportunity is still huge, and Pi could surprise us all. So, what do you think? Is this a temporary dip, or have we reached a turning point for Pi? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more news, updates, and analysis on Pi Network. You won't want to miss what happens next. Until next time, keep mining, keep believing, and as always, stay pioneering.